You should start. You should start charging us. How's it going?
Hey.
You got it. Thank you guys.
Yay!
Nice track, all right. Oh wow.
Big fan of your old show. I work with trauma survivors and suicide survivors. Thank you so much for
You got it. Thank you. It's as much for me as it's for everybody else. So it was magical. I don't know if y'all were in the panel, but as I saw the lights, I didn't really know what it was. And then it was, mine's in my pocket. Yeah, it's amazing. It's an amazing thing. And it's become much like Supernatural. It's greater than the sum of its parts. You know, like we just make this little kooky show. It's all about Hookman and Bloody Mary and Wendigos, and all of a sudden, 11 years later, all of a sudden, it's become this family, you know, where we've all devoted so much time to each other. And it's almost like being an alumni of a college or something. Like when I meet somebody who's watched Supernatural, I'm like, me too. I've devoted way too much of my life to that show as well. So it's a fun camaraderie between the fandom and the writers and the actors. And I feel like truly like we're all part of this. The same with the Always Keep Fighting campaign. I mean, it means something to me. It wasn't bullshit. Like it was something that I've always dealt with. So Thank you.
So Jeremy spilled that Sam is going to start embracing his, seeking out a higher power.
Oh, is Sam going to embrace what? Jeremy? So the darkness predates God, Crowley, Castiel, heaven, hell, and so I think Sam, ever the researcher, is trying to figure out some way to figure out what's going on. Alongside his brother, thank God, because there have been too many seasons of like Benny or Ruby or Soulless or Lucifer or Marker King, and we've seen the boys doing this too much, and now we're back together. And Sam is trying to find some way to make sense of this darkness and to figure out how to beat it, you know, for the sake of himself and his brother and the world. And so he does start to have visions or kind of memories that maybe didn't exist, that his mind is fabricating, of a higher power. I hope Rob gets to come back. But we'll see Sam explore a side that we haven't really seen him explore in 10 years.
So how does it feel to be directed by one of your colleagues, your best friend, like who's your brother?
Are you going to tell him what I say?
No.
No, I'm just kidding. It's fantastic. He's one of my best friends, you know, and he's a great actor, a great director. He's a very hard worker. He does his research, and as an actor, he's directed me for 10 years, and vice versa. You know, we'll give each other like a, hey, remember this scene? We just came from the police station, so remember that, or whatever. And also, just by any actor, he knows how to talk to actors. You know, sometimes directors will come in, they don't really know how to get from you, and so they're like, say it louder, or, you know, talk about it. Whereas an actor will come in and be like, listen, there's some urgency because if Sam and Dean don't get here by this time, and then when the phone rings, and so you naturally kind of like talk a little bit louder and faster, so they know how to, an actor will change the ingredients to the recipe as opposed to like pouring sugar on it after the cake is made. They're like, hey, add the sugar before, that'll make the cake sweeter, as opposed to like at the very end, like, hey, put a smile on your face. You know, it's like, hey, remember your happiness. So it's great. He's one of my best friends, and I trust him. So, and he can say, he probably has said every single thing to me in 11 years that any human being could say to anybody else. So it's not going to offend me, whatever he says. And if I'm just doing a poor job, I'll be like, buddy, do it again. Like, this is to me. She's like, I think I'm making this worse. But it's great. It's great.
Is there a moment coming up in the early part of the season that you can't wait for the fans to see? That you just...
Yeah, it's not super early. It's episode 4. It takes place. It's called Baby, and it's all about the Impala. It takes place in the Impala. It's going to be a super cool. Like other TV shows don't get to do this, but it's going to be. Like, the Impala's going to be in every shot. A lot of it's going to be in the Impala, and we're going to hear what's going on outside, and then the character comes into the car to get something really fast, and you hear what's going on, but you don't see. I mean, it's going to be cool. So for me, that's like a dream come true. It's all about the car, like the car's experience. It's almost like it's almost like
Like
the
a
car's a
throwback to
character.
the season.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Car is before the lead.
Yeah.
Sure, absolutely. And so or the third in the first couple seasons, you know.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
we see the crazy Winchester world from the point of view of the Impala.
Oh, that's awesome.
I can't wait. It's going to be cool. Also, I think it allows us we get to tell cool stories. You know, Sam and Dean will get out of the car, and we'll hear some stuff, and they get back in the car, and they're blood. You know, like you don't have to see. It's kind of cool what you
nice.
don't see. You know, what you'll hear and hear about, but you don't see. So I can't wait for that.
Why do I think that might be season? Why do I think it's episode 4?
It is.
Now we know
Why
what's
were they teasing about 4?
Yeah. We
Oh,
heard,
really?
we heard there's a really interesting conceit. Yeah.
That's it. That's four.
Can you fan out and help get Jeremy to rectify the whole Charlie debacle? Yeah, can you do that? And Jared, let us see here. Come on.
Well, it's still there. It's still there.
Yes, thank you.
It was one of those get out of the shower and put the hat on. So
Guys, come on.
I just want to give you this. It's for your badge.
Thank you.
So it's supposed to be like we rewrite your butt here, so we it's kind of like, oh, we approve.
Thanks, guys. Nerd approved. Is that me? Thank y'all.
That's my side.
Thanks, guys.
See you in Vancouver.